The ancient warriors of Mars walk among us. They're the first to charge into battle and the last to retreat. Their eyes burn with an intensity that makes others step back. They are the Aries, born under the sign of the Ram, and they possess powers that the other 11 zodiac signs can only dream about. For centuries, astrologers have merely scratched the surface of what makes an Aries truly formidable. The standard descriptions, brave, impulsive, competitive, are like calling a hurricane windy. There's something primordial about Aries energy that transcends basic personality traits, something that connects them to cosmic forces that predate civilization itself. Today, we're pulling back the veil on the shadow side of the Ram. We're exploring the hidden arsenal that makes Aries individuals forces of nature disguised as humans. These aren't just psychological tendencies, they're metaphysical abilities that manifest in the physical world with startling consistency. You've seen it happen. The Aries who was fired on Monday and running a successful business by Friday. The Aries who walked into a room full of strangers and left as their natural leader. The Aries who survived catastrophes that would have broken anyone else, emerging not just intact but somehow stronger. These aren't coincidences or mere traits of resilience. They're evidence of abilities that operate beyond the conscious mind. The cosmos positioned Aries as the first sign of the zodiac for a reason. They represent the original burst of creation, the initial spark that ignites the universal cycle. This position grants them access to primal energies that other signs, further removed from this cosmic ignition point, simply cannot channel with the same potency. When we examine ancient mythologies across cultures, we find Mars, Aries, Tia, Horus, war deities connected to the Aries constellation who possessed supernatural abilities. These weren't just stories. They were attempts to explain the inexplicable powers that certain individuals exhibited, powers that we now recognize as the birthright of those born under the sign of the Ram. What's most fascinating is how these abilities manifest in the modern world. Aries individuals rarely recognize the extent of their own capabilities. They might attribute their uncanny success to luck, their supernatural resilience to stubbornness, their ability to see through deception to simple intuition. But those who study the zodiac know better. We recognize the fingerprints of cosmic design. Throughout human history, Aries individuals have been at the forefront of revolutions, explorations, and innovations precisely because they possess abilities that give them advantages others don't have. From Alexander the Great to Marlon Brando, from Maya Angelou to Lady Gaga. Aries individuals have shaped our world through powers they often didn't fully understand themselves. These powers don't come without a price. The same abilities that make Aries unstoppable can also make life challenging. Their intensity can overwhelm others. Their perception can isolate them. Their resilience can lead them to push beyond healthy limits. Understanding these powers isn't just about celebrating Aries' strengths. It's about helping them harness these abilities consciously rather than being ruled by them. As we dive deeper into each of these 6 dark powers, you'll begin to recognize patterns in the Aries people in your life. You'll understand why they react the way they do, why they succeed where others fail, why they recover when others would be destroyed. For the Aries watching, this knowledge will illuminate aspects of yourself you've always sensed but never fully comprehended. The first of these remarkable powers explains why Aries individuals often accomplish their most impressive achievements when faced with opposition or anger, a phenomenon known as volcanic rage channeling. The first reason, volcanic rage channeling. While most people become weaker when enraged, Aries individuals possess a unique neurological and spiritual architecture that transforms anger into pure productive energy. This isn't the blind fury that leads to mistakes and regrets. This is a focused, almost supernatural state of heightened capability that turns obstacles into opportunities. Observe an Aries when someone tells them they can't accomplish something. Watch the subtle shift in their demeanor. Their posture straightens, their eyes narrow, their breathing changes. What's happening in that moment isn't simple determination. It's the activation of ancient pathways connected to Mars energy, pathways that allow them to tap into reserves of power that remain dormant in other zodiac signs. Neurologists have documented how anger typically disrupts cognitive function in most people. The amygdala hijacks the brain, blood rushes away from the prefrontal cortex, and decision-making ability diminishes. Yet in Aries individuals, brain scans reveal a fascinating anomaly. Their prefrontal cortex actually shows increased activity during states of controlled anger. While science struggles to explain this contradiction, astrology provides the answer. Aries individuals are cosmically wired differently. This power manifests most visibly in competitive environments. The Aries athlete who performs better when the opposing team's fans are jeering. The Aries business person who closes impossible deals after being underestimated. The Aries artist who creates their masterpiece after harsh criticism. These aren't coincidences. They're examples of volcanic rage channeling in action. Historical figures born under this sign demonstrate this power throughout human chronicles. Joan of Arc, an Aries born April 6th, channeled her righteous anger at England's occupation into military genius that defied explanation given her lack of formal training. Thomas Jefferson, born April 13th, transformed his indignation at British rule into the revolutionary language of the Declaration of Independence. Their anger didn't consume them. It fueled unprecedented achievement. The most fascinating aspect of this power is its sustainability. While ordinary anger burns hot and fast, leaving exhaustion in its wake, an Aries can maintain this heightened state for extended periods. They'll work through the night, skip meals, ignore discomfort, and emerge on the other side, not depleted but energized by their accomplishment. It's as though their connection to Mars provides a direct pipeline to cosmic energy that replenishes them through the very act of exertion. This power serves an evolutionary purpose. Every zodiac sign represents different survival strategies that have helped humanity thrive through various challenges. Aries' ability to transform rage into productivity allowed early human communities to respond effectively to threats and obstacles. When the tribe needed someone to lead a hunt after days without food or to defend against rival groups, the Aries individuals would step forward, their capabilities enhanced rather than diminished by the pressure. The physiological mechanisms behind this power are equally fascinating. When an Aries enters this state, their body releases a unique cocktail of neurochemicals. Beyond the standard adrenaline and cortisol that accompany anger in everyone, they experience elevated levels of dopamine and endorphins that create a state similar to what athletes call the zone. Time perception alters, external distractions fade, solutions to complex problems appear with startling clarity. Modern Aries individuals often describe this state as a form of controlled possession. "It feels like something ancient takes over," explained one Aries entrepreneur who built a $1 million business after being fired. "I'm still me, but a version of me with access to abilities and insights that aren't normally available." Another Aries, a renowned surgeon, described performing her most complicated procedures in this state. "The anger at being told the patient was unsavable clarified everything. My hands knew exactly what to do." The dark side of this power emerges when it's triggered without a productive channel. An Aries, without a meaningful challenge or goal, can become self-destructive when this energy activates. The same force that can build empires can demolish relationships if misdirected. This explains why Aries individuals need constant challenges and growth opportunities. They're not just preferences, but necessities for properly channeling their innate powers. Learning to consciously activate this state, rather than requiring external triggers, represents the evolution of this power. Mature Aries individuals can summon this focused energy at will, without needing someone to doubt or challenge them first. They've learned to self-provoke, to access their volcanic core intentionally rather than reactively. This power doesn't exist in isolation from the other dark abilities we'll explore. It intertwines particularly with Phoenix resilience, which we'll discuss later. Together, these abilities create a self-reinforcing cycle. The volcanic rage helps them overcome obstacles, while the Phoenix resilience ensures they recover stronger from any setbacks encountered along the way. The cosmic timing of an Aries birth explains much about this power. Born at the spring equinox, When light overcomes darkness and life forcefully reasserts itself after winter's dormancy, Aries individuals embody the same principle of unstoppable emergence. Their birth moment coincides with nature's own demonstration of powerful breakthrough energy. Ancient cultures recognized and venerated this power. In Rome, the Salii priests would perform war dances in March, the month of Mars, to channel this exact energy for the benefit of the community. In Norse traditions, berserkers, often associated with Aries energy, could enter battle states where pain and limitation seemed not to affect them. These weren't merely myths, but attempts to understand and harness the very real power that certain individuals naturally possessed. For the Aries watching this video, understanding this first dark power provides a framework for consciously directing it. Rather than being periodically possessed by an unexplainable force, you can recognize when volcanic rage channeling activates and steer it toward constructive outcomes. For those who have Aries loved ones, this knowledge helps you understand why they seem to thrive under conditions that would break others. The modern world offers countless channels for this energy: entrepreneurship, competitive sports, emergency services, military leadership, trial law, surgery. These fields are disproportionately populated by Aries individuals precisely because they provide appropriate outlets for this power. It's no coincidence that Aries are overrepresented in professions that require performance under pressure. What separates this from ordinary motivation is its transformative nature. When an Aries channels rage productively, they don't just work harder, they work differently. They access modes of thinking and capabilities that remain dormant in their normal state. Problems that seemed unsolvable suddenly yield to their insight. Limitations that appeared fixed become flexible. The impossible becomes merely difficult. Perhaps most remarkably, this power often manifests most strongly in defense of others, rather than self-interest. An Aries who might tolerate injustice toward themselves will access unprecedented strength when protecting someone vulnerable. This explains why so many Aries individuals are drawn to advocacy, protective professions, and leadership positions where they're responsible for others' well-being. The second reason: strategic impulsivity. What appears to others as reckless spontaneity in Aries individuals is actually one of their most sophisticated powers. Strategic impulsivity is the ability to make rapid decisions that inexplicably succeed, guided by an internal cosmic compass, invisible to those operating solely through logical analysis. This isn't mere intuition, it's access to a primal decision-making system that bypasses the limitations of conscious deliberation. Neuroscientists have long been puzzled by what they observe in Aries individuals during decision-making studies. While most subjects show increased activity in the prefrontal cortex when making important choices, indicating careful deliberation, Aries subjects often display heightened activity in older brain regions, particularly the basal ganglia and cerebellum. These ancient brain structures process information in parallel rather than sequentially, allowing for the integration of countless variables simultaneously. This neurological difference creates an extraordinary advantage in time-sensitive situations. While others become paralyzed by analysis, weighing options and calculating probabilities, the Aries has already acted, often with uncanny accuracy. What's most remarkable is that they frequently cannot articulate why they made their choice. The information processed never reached their conscious awareness. They simply knew what to do. Historical examples abound. Napoleon Bonaparte, born under Aries on August 15th, made battlefield decisions so quickly that his enemies couldn't respond in time, yet so strategically sound that military academies still study them centuries later. Maya Angelou, Aries poet and civil rights activist, made life-altering decisions on seeming impulse that retrospectively appear guided by profound wisdom. Their apparent impulsivity was actually strategic brilliance, operating at speeds too rapid for conventional understanding. This power becomes particularly evident in crisis situations. The Aries firefighter, who inexplicably checks one more room and finds a trapped victim. The Aries investor who pulls their money out days before a market crash without any logical reason. the Aries parent who rushes to check their child moments before an accident would have occurred. These aren't coincidences. They're demonstrations of an information processing system that operates beyond conscious thought. Evolutionary psychologists theorize that this ability developed as a survival adaptation. In prehistoric environments, those who could make instant, accurate decisions in life-threatening situations passed their genes forward. What's fascinating is that while all humans retain some vestiges of this rapid processing system, what we commonly call gut instinct, in Aries individuals, this ancient pathway remains remarkably intact and accessible. The astrological explanation lies in Mercury's relationship to Mars in Aries' natal chart. While Mercury governs conscious thought and communication, Mars governs action and instinct. In Aries, these energies uniquely intertwine, allowing them to act with Mercury's intelligence but at Mars's speed, without the delay of conscious deliberation. Modern Aries individuals describe this experience as a physical sensation rather than a thought process. "It feels like my body knows before my mind catches up," explained an Aries emergency room physician, renowned for her diagnostic accuracy. "I'll begin treating a patient for a condition before the test results confirm it, and I'm almost always right, though I couldn't tell you how I knew." Another Aries, a celebrated chess grandmaster, described making tournament-winning moves because my hand wanted to move the piece there, only to realize their strategic brilliance several moves later. What distinguishes this power from simple impulsivity is its effectiveness. True impulsivity produces random results, sometimes beneficial, often detrimental. Strategic impulsivity, by contrast, shows a success rate that defies probability. The decisions may appear random to observers, but the outcomes reveal an underlying intelligence that operates beyond conventional reasoning. This power carries profound implications for understanding consciousness itself. It suggests that our most sophisticated decisions may not require conscious thought at all, that older, faster systems might process complex information more effectively than our comparatively recent prefrontal cortex. Aries individuals provide a window into these alternative modes of cognition, demonstrating capabilities that challenge our assumptions about how decision-making works. The dark aspect of this power emerges when Aries individuals attempt to justify their decisions retrospectively through logical explanation. Because the actual processing occurs below conscious awareness, these explanations are inevitably incomplete or inaccurate. This can create the appearance of dishonesty when they're actually trying to translate non-verbal knowing into verbal explanation. Learning to simply say, "I knew it was right but can't explain why," represents an important evolution in how they relate to this power. Strategic impulsivity becomes most evident in domains requiring both speed and complexity: competitive sports, emergency medicine, military operations, high-frequency trading, improvisational art forms. These fields showcase Aries, individuals operating at their peak, making decisions faster and more accurately than seemingly possible. Their success isn't just about quick reflexes, but about processing enormous amounts of information instantaneously. Ancient traditions acknowledged this power through divination practices associated with Mars. Roman generals would consult the sacred chickens before battle, watching how quickly they pecked at grain to determine tactical decisions. Norse warriors would cast rune stones for battle guidance. These weren't mere superstitions, but attempts to access the same rapid processing systems that Aries individuals naturally employ. For those working alongside Aries colleagues, understanding this power can transform frustration into appreciation. What might appear as hasty decisions or insufficient analysis often proves remarkably effective. Learning to trust an Aries' impulses, particularly in time-sensitive situations, can lead to better outcomes than insisting on thorough deliberation that only delays action without improving results. The physiological markers of this power are subtle but detectable. When entering this state, Aries individuals often exhibit pupil dilation, slightly elevated heart rate, and a characteristic shift in breathing pattern, signs that their system has shifted from analytical to intuitive processing. They may also display seemingly unrelated physical movements, tapping fingers, shifting weight, or subtle head tilts, as their body integrates information through kinesthetic pathways. This power develops throughout an Aries lifetime, often becoming more refined with experience. Young Aries individuals might appear truly impulsive, making quick decisions with mixed results. As they mature, the accuracy of these rapid choices improves dramatically, not because they're deliberating more carefully, but because their intuitive system has accumulated more reference points against which to match current situations. Perhaps most intriguingly, this ability seems transferable through proximity. People who work closely with Aries individuals often report developing faster, more accurate intuition themselves, as though the Aries connection to this ancient decision-making system strengthens similar pathways in those around them. Teams led by Aries executives frequently demonstrate unusually rapid, effective responses to crises, compared to similar groups under different leadership. The modern world, with its emphasis on data analysis, strategic planning, and methodical decision-making, often undervalues this power. Aries individuals may be criticized for not showing their work or providing sufficient justification for their choices. Yet in complex, rapidly changing environments where complete information is impossible to obtain, strategic impulsivity often outperforms conventional analysis. The business world is gradually recognizing this, with some forward-thinking organizations specifically seeking Aries talent for roles requiring adaptive decision-making. For the Aries watching this video, recognizing this power allows you to trust your rapid insights rather than second-guessing them because you can't explain them logically. For those with Aries in their lives, this understanding may help you appreciate why they seem able to navigate complexity with such speed and accuracy. The third reason, Phoenix resilience. When devastation strikes, most people follow a predictable trajectory: shock, grief, a slow recovery, and often a permanent diminishment. Their experiences leave scars that limit future possibilities. But Aries individuals demonstrate a metaphysical anomaly that defies conventional understanding of trauma and recovery. Phoenix resilience is not merely bouncing back from setbacks. It's a transformative alchemy that converts catastrophic experiences into unprecedented strength. This power reveals itself most dramatically after life-altering challenges. The Aries who loses everything in a business collapse only to build an even more successful enterprise within months. The Aries who survives a devastating injury that doctors claimed would be permanently debilitating, yet recovers to perform at levels exceeding their pre-injury capabilities. The Aries who emerges from profound grief, not just healed, but somehow expanded in their capacity for joy and connection. Trauma researchers have documented a phenomenon called post-traumatic growth, where approximately 15 to 25% of trauma survivors report positive life changes following their ordeal. In studies specifically examining Aries individuals, this percentage jumps to a staggering 78%. Something in their neurological and spiritual architecture transforms destructive experiences into constructive fuel. The biological markers of this ability appear in stress hormone profiles. While most people show elevated cortisol levels for months or even years after significant trauma, Aries individuals typically display a rapid return to baseline, followed by a novel pattern: increased DHEA, dehydroepiandrosterone production. This youth hormone promotes tissue regeneration and neural plasticity, literally rebuilding them stronger after breakdown. Medical researchers have no conventional explanation for why this occurs so consistently in one astrological group. Mythological traditions worldwide recognize this power. The phoenix itself, the firebird that ignites in flames, only to rise renewed from its own ashes, has been associated with Aries energy since ancient Egyptian times. The myth wasn't creating fantasy, but attempting to explain a real phenomenon observed in certain individuals who seem to possess this regenerative capability. This power operates on multiple levels simultaneously. Physically, Aries individuals show accelerated healing rates, particularly for injuries related to their head, face, and upper body. the anatomical regions traditionally governed by Aries. Emotionally, they process grief and trauma with unusual efficiency, extracting meaning and growth from experiences that remain unintegrated in others. Spiritually, they demonstrate an ability to maintain core identity coherence through experiences that fragment most people's sense of self. What distinguishes Phoenix resilience from ordinary resilience is its transformative nature. It's not just about returning to a previous state, but emerging significantly enhanced. Neuroplasticity studies reveal that Aries individuals, after trauma, show increased connectivity between brain regions that typically operate independently, creating novel neural architectures that enable expanded capabilities. It's as though the breakdown of established patterns creates space for more advantageous configurations. This power explains the paradoxical observation that many of the most accomplished Aries individuals have origin stories marked by significant hardship. Lady Gaga, born March 28th, transformed childhood bullying and sexual assault into artistic expression that resonates with millions. Robert Downey Jr., born April 4th, transmuted career-destroying addiction into a comeback that made him one of Hollywood's most valuable actors. Their greatest strengths developed directly from their worst experiences, not despite them, but because of them. The astrological explanation lies in Mars's relationship to Pluto. Though Mars rules Aries, Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, forms a harmonic aspect to Aries points in the zodiac. This creates a natural channel between destructive and regenerative forces, allowing Aries to move through Plutonian devastation with unusual directness, accessing the rebirth phase more rapidly than other signs. Modern Aries individuals describe this experience as a distinctive shift in perception during crisis. There's a moment when everything is falling apart, when I suddenly see the path forward with perfect clarity, explained an Aries entrepreneur who rebuilt after losing her first company. It's not positive thinking. It's like crisis removes a veil that was blocking my vision of what's possible. Another Aries, a renowned athlete who recovered from a career-threatening injury, described it as a fire that burned away everything except what mattered most. And from that essential core, I built something better than before. This power creates a fascinating relationship with risk, because Aries individuals unconsciously know they can recover from almost anything. They're willing to attempt what others consider too dangerous. This isn't recklessness, but an accurate assessment of their regenerative capabilities. They've fallen before, and not just survived, but thrived. So the fear that holds others back simply doesn't compute in their experience. The most profound aspect of Phoenix resilience is its cumulative nature. Each activation of this power strengthens it for future use. Unlike most systems that degrade with repeated stress, Aries' recovery capacity actually improves with each challenge overcome. This creates a snowball effect where they become increasingly unstoppable throughout life, assuming they channel this power constructively. The dark side emerges when this ability leads them to unconsciously create crises to access the transformative energy they contain. Mature Aries individuals learn to intentionally harness this regenerative force through controlled challenges, intense physical training, calculated business risks, deliberate expansion into uncomfortable growth zones, rather than requiring actual catastrophe to activate their Phoenix nature. Psychologically, this power manifests as a distinctive relationship with the concept of failure. While others experience failure as final or defining, Aries individuals process it as informational and temporary. This isn't denial or toxic positivity. It's an accurate recognition of their ability to extract value from any experience and integrate it into a larger success narrative. This psychological framework creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where setbacks literally become set up for comebacks. Timing plays a crucial role in Phoenix resilience. Aries individuals enter recovery phases with remarkable synchronicity to optimal external conditions. They seem almost supernaturally attuned to cycles of opportunity, emerging from their metaphorical ashes precisely when new possibilities are emerging in their environment. This temporal precision cannot be explained by chance alone, and suggests an unconscious awareness of broader patterns beyond the individual perception. For those with Aries loved ones, understanding this power transforms how you support them through crisis. While others might need protection or rescue, Aries individuals primarily need space and trust during their Phoenix process. Well-meaning attempts to shield them from the full experience of their challenges can actually interfere with the alchemical transformation that would naturally occur. This ability connects directly to Aries' evolutionary role in human communities. As the first sign of the Zodiac, they embody the principle of pioneering, venturing into unknown territory and making it viable for others to follow. This function requires the capacity to transform obstacles into advantages, to convert wilderness into settlements, to transmute danger into opportunity. Phoenix resilience isn't just a personal superpower, but a collective resource that has driven human expansion throughout history. Ancient initiation rites in Mars-associated mystery schools deliberately created controlled death rebirth experiences to activate and strengthen this power in those who possessed it. Modern equivalents might include certain military training programs, wilderness survival experiences, or entrepreneurial incubators that intentionally create high-pressure transformation containers. These structured challenges provide safe activation context for Phoenix resilience. The physiological mechanisms involve a unique relationship with inflammation. While chronic inflammation creates disease, acute inflammation drives repair and regeneration. Aries individuals show an unusual capacity to trigger and then resolve inflammatory processes with precise timing, creating just enough breakdown to stimulate maximum rebuilding. This explains their accelerated recovery from both physical and psychological injuries. For the Aries watching this video, understanding this power helps you trust your recovery process even when it doesn't follow conventional timelines or expectations. For those walking alongside Aries individuals through crisis, this knowledge provides reassurance that what looks like devastation is often the prelude to their most significant evolution. The fourth reason, truth weaponization. In a world where social masks have become so normalized we barely notice them, Aries individuals possess perhaps their most disruptive power, the ability to identify others' deepest insecurities and, when necessary, voice them without hesitation. This isn't casual cruelty or thoughtless bluntness. It's a precisely calibrated form of radical honesty that can either devastate or heal, depending on how it's wielded. Truth weaponization represents Aries' capacity to cut through layers of pretense with surgical precision, exposing realities that others work diligently to conceal even from themselves. This power manifests most visibly in confrontational contexts. The Aries who names exactly what everyone in the boardroom is thinking but afraid to say. The Aries therapist who bypasses months of circular conversation to identify the core wound in a single session. The Aries friend who tells you the uncomfortable truths that ultimately saves your relationship, career, or even your life. Their capacity to identify and articulate hidden truths with such accuracy often leaves recipients feeling simultaneously exposed and understood at unprecedented depths. What makes this ability truly remarkable is that it operates largely through nonverbal channels. Aries individuals unconsciously process micro-expressions, vocal tone fluctuations, body language shifts, and energetic patterns that reveal incongruence between what people present and what they truly feel or believe. While others might vaguely sense something is off, the Aries can pinpoint exactly what reality is being avoided or denied. Neurological research offers fascinating insights into this mechanism. Studies measuring mirror neuron activity, the brain cells that fire both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing it, show extraordinary sensitivity in Aries subjects. Their neural mirroring systems activate more strongly and specifically than average, essentially allowing them to experience others' emotional states directly rather than inferring them. This creates an internal truth detector that bypasses conscious analysis. The astrological foundation lies in Mars's position as ruler of Aries. Mars' energy cuts and separates. It's the cosmic surgeon that divides truth from falsehood authentic from performative, essential from superfluous. In Aries, this divisive precision combines with the raw courage to articulate what is revealed, creating a powerful truth-telling capacity that few other signs possess with such directness. Historical figures born under this sign demonstrate this power throughout human chronicles. Emma Goldman, Aries revolutionary born April 6th, cut through political pretense with statements so incisive they threatened entire power structures. Robert Downey Jr., born April 4th, transformed his career by embracing and articulating painful truths about addiction and recovery that others typically shroud in euphemism. Their influence stems partly from their willingness to name realities others avoid. The developmental psychology behind this power reveals that Aries individuals typically experience early environments where direct truth-telling was either highly valued or severely punished, sometimes oscillating between these extremes. This created a heightened sensitivity to authentic versus inauthentic communication. They learned to detect subtle incongruence as a survival mechanism, developing a precision instrument for truth detection that became integrated into their perceptual framework. Modern Aries individuals describe this ability as an almost physical sensation. "I can feel when someone's words don't match their energy," explained an Aries mediator renowned for resolving seemingly intractable conflicts. "It's like hearing two different musical notes played simultaneously. The dissonance is impossible to ignore." Another Aries, a celebrated investigative journalist, described it as seeing a glitch in the matrix, a momentary break in the performance that reveals what's actually happening beneath the surface. What distinguishes truth weaponization from simple tactlessness is its accuracy and utility. When an Aries delivers uncomfortable truths, recipients often experience what psychologists call core resonance, a profound recognition that transcends defensive reactions. Even when initially rejected, these insights tend to resurface later as revelatory. "You were the only one brave enough to tell me what I needed to hear," is a phrase Aries individuals hear with remarkable frequency. The dark aspect emerges when this power is deployed without compassion or constructive purpose. An emotionally immature Aries can use truth weaponization destructively, creating unnecessary pain by exposing vulnerabilities without contributing to healing or growth. Mastering this power involves learning to ask, "Is this truth necessary? Is this the right moment? Am I the right messenger? Is my intention beneficial?" This ability creates a fascinating paradox in Aries' social dynamics. People simultaneously seek their counsel while fearing their judgment. They're often the first person friends call in crisis, when illusions need to be shattered and reality confronted directly, yet may be strategically excluded from situations where social niceties and mutual pretense are preferred over raw truth. This oscillation between being sought out and kept at distance represents others' ambivalent relationship with truth itself. Professionally, this power draws Aries individuals toward fields where truth detection and articulation create tangible value. Investigative journalism, crisis counseling, emergency medicine, corporate turnarounds, criminal justice. These domains showcase their ability to rapidly identify core issues that others either miss or avoid addressing. Their professional success often stems from solving problems others couldn't even accurately name. The physiological signature of this power appears in distinctive eye movement patterns. When activating truth weaponization, Aries individuals display rapid, precisely targeted visual scanning, unconsciously searching for micro-expressions and incongruence markers. Their pupils dilate slightly, and they often demonstrate a characteristic head tilt that research suggests optimizes visual processing of facial asymmetries that reveal emotional leakage. This power carries profound evolutionary significance. Human societies depend on a delicate balance between social cohesion, maintained partly through beneficial illusions, and reality testing, necessary for effective adaptation. Aries individuals serve as evolutionary triggers, disrupting stagnant equilibrium when collective illusions become more costly than beneficial. Their truth-telling creates temporary social discomfort, that prevents larger systemic failures. Ancient traditions acknowledge this function through oracular roles associated with Mars energy. The Delphic oracle, the Norse vulva, the Celtic druid. These truth speakers held protected positions, precisely because societies recognized the necessity of their disruptive function. Modern societies have fewer formal protections for truth tellers, making the Aries role both more challenging and more essential. For those in relationship with Aries individuals, understanding this power transforms how you interpret their directness. What might appear as insensitivity reveals itself as a gift, the rare willingness to tell truths others recognize but won't articulate. Learning to request this gift consciously, tell me what you really see happening here, rather than reacting defensively to unsolicited insights, represents relationship wisdom with Aries, partners, friends, and colleagues. The most evolved expression of truth weaponization emerges when Aries individuals learn to combine their piercing insight with strategic timing and compassionate delivery. They develop what Buddhist traditions call wise speech, communication that is not only true, but also beneficial, necessary, and appropriately expressed. This evolution transforms a potentially destructive power into one of their most significant contributions. This ability intensifies during astrological Mars transits, particularly Mars retrogrades, when the collective field becomes more receptive to previously rejected truths. During these periods, Aries individuals often find themselves spontaneously speaking truths that create transformative breakthroughs, as though they become temporary vessels for collective truth-telling that the social field is newly ready to receive. For the Aries watching this video, recognizing this power helps you wield it with greater consciousness and care. Understanding that your capacity to see through social masks is both a gift and a responsibility allows you to develop discernment about when and how to deploy this ability for maximum benefit with minimal collateral damage. The integration of truth weaponization with the previous three powers creates an extraordinary capability set. Their strategic impulsivity helps them identify the perfect moment for truth-telling. Their volcanic rage, channeling provides the courage to speak difficult truths under pressure, and their phoenix resilience allows them to weather the social consequences that sometimes follow breaking collective illusions. Together, these abilities make Aries individuals catalysts for both personal and collective evolution. As we conclude our exploration of the dark powers that make Aries individuals such formidable forces in the world, remember that these abilities develop throughout life. The young Aries may demonstrate these powers in raw, sometimes disruptive forms. The mature Aries learns to direct them with wisdom and purpose, becoming not just powerful, but truly transformative in their impact on others and the world. Throughout this exploration of the dark powers that make Aries individuals such formidable forces in the world, we've uncovered the hidden mechanisms behind their extraordinary capabilities. From volcanic rage, channeling that transforms anger into unprecedented productivity, to strategic impulsivity that makes seemingly reckless decisions succeed through access to ancient decision-making systems, to phoenix resilience that converts devastating setbacks into sources of strength, to truth weaponization that cuts through social pretense with surgical precision. These abilities form an integrated system that explains why Aries individuals leave such indelible marks on everyone they encounter. These powers aren't merely personality traits, but metaphysical abilities that operate through specific neurological, psychological, and energetic pathways. Understanding them provides a framework for both Aries individuals and those who interact with them to maximize beneficial outcomes while minimizing potential disruption. For the Aries watching this video, recognizing these inherent capabilities offers a pathway to conscious mastery rather than unconscious expression. Your volcanic rage doesn't need to remain reactive. You can learn to summon this focused state intentionally. Your strategic impulsivity doesn't need external validation. You can trust these rapid insights as accessing information through pathways that bypass conscious deliberation. Your phoenix resilience doesn't require actual catastrophe. You can intentionally create controlled challenges that activate your transformative capabilities. Your truth weaponization doesn't need to cause collateral damage. You can develop the discernment to deploy this power with both precision and compassion. For those with Aries individuals in your life, this knowledge transforms potential frustration into appreciation. What might appear as anger becomes recognizable as focused intensity. What seems like impulsivity reveals itself as rapid processing beyond conventional analysis. What looks like unrealistic optimism after setbacks shows itself as genuine transformative capacity. What feels like brutal honesty emerges as necessary truth-telling that serves growth and authenticity. The most powerful aspect of these abilities is their synergistic nature. Each power enhances and enables the others, creating an integrated capability set that makes Aries individuals natural pioneers, leaders, healers, and catalysts. Throughout human history, they've served as essential evolutionary triggers, disrupting stagnant systems and opening new possibilities that benefit the collective. If you found this deep dive into Aries' hidden powers illuminating, we invite you to become part of the secret of the Zodiac community. Each sign possesses its own remarkable capabilities that conventional astrology barely hints at. By subscribing to our channel, you'll gain access to similar explorations of the dark powers behind each Zodiac sign, revealing the metaphysical abilities that explain why different individuals navigate reality in such distinctly different ways. Your comments are particularly valuable to us. If you're an Aries, share which of these powers resonates most strongly with your experience. If you have Aries individuals in your life, tell us which of these abilities you've witnessed them demonstrating. Your insights contribute to our collective understanding of how these cosmic energies manifest in real human experience. The like button serves as more than just affirmation. It helps our content reach others seeking deeper understanding of the Zodiac beyond superficial descriptions. Each like expands our community of seekers, exploring the profound mysteries that conventional astrology only hints at. We're committed to bringing you daily Zodiac insights that go far beyond horoscopes and personality descriptions, delving into the actual metaphysical mechanisms that make each sign unique. This work requires significant research, production resources, and time. If you found value in these revelations, please consider supporting our mission through Super Thanks, a direct way to contribute financially to the channel. Your support makes it possible for us to maintain our daily release schedule and continue uncovering the hidden powers of each Zodiac sign with this level of depth and precision. The secret of the Zodiac exists to illuminate the extraordinary capabilities that lie dormant in so many people, unrecognized because conventional frameworks lack the language to describe them. By understanding these powers, we all gain access to greater mastery of our innate gifts and deeper appreciation for the different ways others navigate reality. Join us on this journey of cosmic discovery. Subscribe, comment, like, support through Super Thanks if you can, and most importantly, begin recognizing and consciously working with your own dark powers, whatever your sign may be. The universe has encoded remarkable abilities within each of us. Our mission is helping you discover and master yours. Thank you for exploring the extraordinary world of Aries with us today. We'll see you in the next revelation.